versus what I got, but I've had.
I'm wondering.
Styles and new things, and I've had it's a learning thing because for me, I wanted to build with stylists because this is also like a career
I
thing.
kind of feel like I don't need no light. I don't think.
So we try new things, and I've been like,
Let me see.
no, we're not good at that. So let's get better, and then let's work over here when you're good at it.
All right, so we got a couple things we got to do. Hey y'all, hey. Let's get. I am looking for. Okay, I think I found it. There is a extra cord for the external speaker so that I can actually hear y'all louder. Let's see. But it appears to be caught up in something. Hold on, y'all. Oh, here it is. Child. Like my grandma say, if it was a snake. All right, let's see here. Okay. Make sure we are good. Can y'all hear me? Let me just do a sound check really quick. Yes. Hey. Hey y'all. Hey. Okay. So first of all, you guys stop letting people ruin your day. You know what's crazy? My little sister, because you can't vent to everybody, right? So my little sister, I usually call and I vent to her. And if you follow my channel, then you know I am in the middle of a common law divorce. If you don't know what that is, Google it. I'll come back for another video where we talk about that. But anyway, and so, it's hard. If it's this hard going through a common law divorce, I cannot imagine if like it was all the paperwork. It was all the contracts and everything else legally binding, because legally binding, you have property, you have assets, you have children, and even though we're not married, it's still like I would imagine, right? I've never been married before. This is the closest I've been to marriage, this relationship. And everything that we did in this relationship is like what married people would do. So now that we are common law divorcing, y'all, I'm really learning, like, oh my God, it's not as easy as just walking away. And I mean, even having a kid, it's like when you own property together, like I said, property, assets, things of that nature. It's a y'all. Now you start to realize why grandma and them and Nana them said, don't be giving him the cow for free. No, what was it saying? Hold on. Why would he buy the milk? Come on, y'all. Help me out. Somebody in the comments. Why would he buy the milk if he can get the cow for free? Right? I think it's something like that. So anyway, why would he buy the milk if he can get the cow for free? And now it makes sense, because if you think all the way back to Great Depression days, and I'm sure before that, but we'll start there. Marriage was socioeconomic, okay? So Like when you think about like, dang, when I think about my mom's mom, she got married at like 14, 15. Crazy. Today, that would be like, oh my God, somebody would be going to jail. I mean, my grandpa was like, I think only like a year older than her or something. But how did that even happen? Right? Like if that something like that happened today, it would be somebody be the parents would have to sign off on it, etc. It'd be a whole lot of legal. It'd be breaking news, right? My grandma didn't even have a license. My mom's mom, right? Okay. Stayed at home, period. Okay. Now, my dad's mom, a little bit different. Okay. She had a couple kids, couple dads, couple marriages, couple divorces. Okay. But my great grandma on my dad's side, who raised my dad, she got married as well when she was a teenager. Okay. And I ain't talking about 18. I'm talking about 14, 15. Okay. Had about 4, 5 kids. Okay. And she only worked at a farm cleaning these people's house and babysitting their kids, ironically. I'm from the deep south, so you should already know where I'm going with that. But it makes sense now when they say, why would he buy the cow if he can get the milk for free? Because you're not protecting yourself in any situation that you are treating as a marriage if you don't protect the number one asset, which is you, baby girl. And I don't mean it like you're, not just protecting yourself, but protecting the other person in the relationship as well. Because listen, okay, it costs a lot of money either way. Whatever you're going to do, it's an investment. It's an investment in time. It's an investment in somebody. It's an investment in children, homes, whatever it is, right? I understand now when they say marriage is the biggest business decision you'll ever make. I think I believe it. But I want to know your thoughts in the comment. What do you think? Have you been married before? Have you been common law married before? AKA, if you don't know what common law married is, let me break it down in cornbread English. Common law married is when you do everything like you married. You live together, you shacking up, okay? You probably done had some kids, or at least a kid. You got bank accounts in each other's names. Your mail comes to the same address, etc., etc. I'm gonna turn this light off, y'all. I think I like it better like that. I don't know. We'll see. So basically, common law marriage is being married, but not on paper in the courthouse, no wedding, just all the other stuff. That if you break up, you can't just walk away. You still got to dissolve those things and deal with it like a married couple would have. So I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think marriage is still the biggest business decision you'll ever make? And if you do think that, what's changed in today's time with the way people approach relationships and marriage? My situation aside, that's for another video. Oh, but that video is coming. Because back to what I was saying, how I even got on that topic is that my little sister, I would vent to her about, my daughter's father, who I'm going through the common law divorce with. And y'all, it's a lot. Okay. And my sister, while she is gracious enough, I don't know if she be listening for real, but I'm sure if she heard it once, she heard it 1,000 times. But she let me vent, whether it's text vent, on the phone vent, FaceTime vent, etc. Right? So, y'all, so I'm venting to her. And one day she says to me, you know what? Stop. And I'm like, what you mean stop, girl? I ain't told you the whole story yet. And I'm getting a little closer, y'all, because the glare on my glasses is... All right. Can y'all see me good? Yeah. We Gucci. We Gucci, Louis, Prada. All right. So look, I was like, what you mean? And she was like, I'll be talking to you. You'll be in such a great mood. You'll be having an amazing day. And then all it takes is one phone call from him or one text message from him. And then all of a sudden you let him ruin your whole day. let them ruin your whole day. And I'm tired of that. You got to stop it. You got to stop that. And I'm like, do I? And she's like, yeah, you do. Stop letting him ruin your day. You do not owe him that. So I want to say this to people who, you know, those people that when they call, you literally, your anxiety starts acting up. When they send you a text message, you roll your eyes before you read it because you already know it's about to be some ish. I was having the best day ever this morning. And sometimes, listen, you know, having a good day is intentional. You don't know what people are going through. But people who are energy suckers, emotional vampires, unhappy creatures, they thrive unbeknownst to themselves of arguing, negativity, being condescending, always focusing on the negative, transferring their anxiety onto you. That's how they thrive. Meanwhile, because that's how they thrive, when they get off the phone with you, they Gucci. When you get off the phone with them, your whole day done changed. Your whole mood done changed. Now you got an attitude. Now I done threw you off. You off your money mission. You off your focus, your whole plan you had for the day. You done wasted a whole hour arguing and texting. And then all of a sudden you realize you have wasted the whole day in a bad mood because of somebody else dropping all their negativity off on you. And, you know, today it hit me as soon as I hung up the phone, because I hung up on them. Because you don't owe people your energy. I don't care what your situation is. You do not owe people your energy. You don't owe them an explanation. And y'all excuse the noise in the background. I guess now they do that extra loud so we can say the HOA paying for something. Anyway, you don't owe people your energy. You don't owe people your peace. I know it's social media. A lot of those words are overused, right? Like, I'm protecting my peace. I'm this and I'm that. But y'all, it's so real. It's so real, y'all. So I'm going to just say this. And, you know, maybe this ain't you. Maybe it's just me, right? Let me talk to myself amongst friends. I have got to be in better control of what interrupts my spirit, if I can be. So if you know somebody interrupts your spirit and you may feel guilty because you feel like, you know, you owe them something because they're, you know, the other parent to your child or your business partner or a family member or, you know, whatever the indebtedness is. But it's not worth losing days to their unhappiness. Meaning you lose your days. And if you think you can lose days off your happiness, you also can lose days off your life because unhappiness goes into the nervous system. And I'm going to tell you something. You might forget and you might forgive and forget, but the nervous system never forgets. And if you don't believe me, just ask any soldier or anybody who suffers from PTSD. Guys, if you've never been in a relationship with a narcissist, I don't expect you to understand this rant, but for anyone who maybe it wasn't being in a relationship with a narcissist, but maybe it was some of the other things that I mentioned. And you got to protect your peace and protect your availability and your access. Because unfortunately for them, and fortunately for you, you are able to move on and get to a happy place or whatever that place of happiness and peace is for you. You can do that, but you will never be able to do it fully if you keep letting them pull you back in the quicksand every time you get out a little bit. So when you're in a good mood, or if you're having trouble getting into a good mood, whatever's going on, you, if you can, control the situation. Hey, block them. Hey, put them on silent, put them on do not disturb. And when you're ready, deal with it. When you're able to deal with it, deal with it. Because ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Life is too short. They had a tsunami off Russia, Japan, Hawaii. People shooting and getting killed every day. It is crazy to watch. I had to go back to the teenage me, and even as somebody in the media and in radio, I'm to the point now where forget commentating on stuff. I need a break from the news, because who needs to watch the stories to know somebody got shot, somebody did a mass shooting, somebody, the teenagers, the YNs killing, somebody killed their family, somebody had road rage and killed two brothers. It's too much. And what I'm saying is, with all that, the last thing you need is somebody else who has the privilege of being in your life on any level, taking that from you, the little bit of happiness, the little bit of peace that you're holding on to in a world that is filled with unhappiness, violence, and death. Speak life. Protect your life. Protect your happiness. And I'm going to leave it at that. If you agree with me or you think something different, leave it in the comments. Because we all we got. All right, Mom. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I promise. If you haven't yet, make sure you click the link in the bio. New t-shirt drops are there. Teacher drops are there. Also back to school drops. The bruh, we back. Pencils. All of that's going on right now at customsquick.printify.me. So make sure you head on over there. It's time to ramp that all the way back up. And buy me a coffee. The link is also there. We are we're preparing for the new equipment to document the move. Yes, I am starting over 40. Stay tuned for all the details, information, and videos on that. All right, y'all. Let's catch up on a couple things. I'm off my soapbox, I promise. All right. So look, it is so much going on, y'all. Oh my God. Let's do this. Okay. Let's start with because I really wasn't gonna say anything about this because I don't necessarily know. I know who Hulk Hogan is. I wasn't a big fan of boxing. I'm sorry, wrestling. I know, my uncles, everybody watched wrestling. It was cool, it's fun, etc. But I'm a girl. I was into girly things, but I am very well aware of the scandal that happened when his racist rant about his daughter dating a black guy came out. And if you guys hadn't seen that or didn't know what that was, you can look that up because by now it's old news. And my God, the man is dead. Okay. And listen, sometimes, okay, when karma, and I'm not saying this is karma for that, okay, guys, because people have done worse than be a racist, or even though that to me is one of the worst things you could be, or just say something racist, right? Because usually it's not, it's really their hatred towards themselves, right? Okay, but Hulk Hogan died on the anniversary of the day that his racist video dropped. Look at this. If you didn't know, look at this. Hulk Hogan dies on day video release. All right, look. And it's just for my people who didn't know. We'll do it real quick. So look at this, y'all. Make it a little bit bigger so y'all can see it. Can y'all see it? All right, cool. All right, so Hulk Hogan died on July 24th. The timing of his death coincided with the release. I'm not laughing at all. Of a viral video featuring his daughter Brooke. Okay, I'm not talking about the AI video that people did, okay, because that's not what AI was made for. But anyway, he was mad that his daughter was dating a black guy, right? Or whatever, and he came out that he was like, at least, if she was gonna date an N-word, right? She would date an N-word, hard ER in both of these. There's like $100 million N-word, okay, that is a basketball player or something like that, right? Listen, he apologized. He made atonement to himself. He felt like he, had dealt with that part and had moved on. And a lot of people in his life said he had. I'm not here to judge whether he did or not. And like I said, at this point, the man is dead. And as far as I'm concerned, that issue has died with him. And I mean, there's nothing more I can say or do than, my God, the man died on the day the video got released. What else do you want? He's dead. Okay. But for all the black people, not to make this about race, but it is what it is, right? At this point. So all the black people, black Twitter, black everybody that is going in, and going in like, I loved Hulk Hogan as a kid, blah, 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 blah. And I don't see a lot, okay, but I do see some black people that are defending Hulk Hogan. And then I see a lot of people of all nationalities acting like the black people who aren't so forgiving, like they're overreacting, right? Like they have no reason to still feel away, et cetera, right? Well, yes, we don't know that. People are saying, like, you don't know what that man did in his life. You know, that man apologized. He moved on. He could have did great things. You don't know what that man did. Okay, cool. But check this out. We may not know what Hulk Hogan went on to do in his latter days, right? But his daughter does. Brooke Hogan. She even looks like her dad, right? Source of the tape that it was about. You have to imagine how it feels if a parent wants their daughter at that age, when she was, I'm sure, in her early 20s, to choose between someone she likes or loves and her daddy's hate-filled, racist ideals. That had to be a lot for her, I'm sure. Well, if you don't believe it and you think that Hulk Hogan apologized and went on to do great things in the black community, then you would probably be wrong, because I'm more inclined to believe his daughter and her actions and her words than yours. Okay? So all you oversensitive, over hypercritical people telling people who felt some kind of way about the things Hulk Hogan said and felt, and didn't go back to the me knowing Hulk Hogan was a racist days, even when he died, kick a rock with an open toe shoe. Because no matter how you feel, you got the right to feel that way. So much so, how many people do you know, okay, that has a rich parent? They don't even got to be rich, okay? A parent with a will, where you're going to get something out of this will if this parent passes away or when. She took herself off the will. And now she's coming out and speaking and saying when he started getting sick, he stopped her from being able to visit. Yeah, I wouldn't want to face the person that I let down, or the person who I still had hate for because she loved what I hated. Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan's daughter, she took herself out of the will. She said she don't want that money. And y'all, if you don't think that means his ass did not change, then there go your proof. All right. So what I'm saying that to say, you know how you want to feel about Hulk Hogan, but however you feel is not wrong. Because Brooke Hogan, quote unquote, posted to Instagram on Tuesday. My dad blood runs through my veins. His eyes shine through my children. Our bond has never broken, not even in its final moments. We had a connection deeper than words, one that spanned lifetimes. I'm so grateful I knew the real version of him, not just the one the world viewed through a carefully curated lens. Yeah, but she also said she'd become estranged from her father in recent years. But we already knew that. She thought that they would somehow, some way come back to each other, before he died. But whatever his beliefs were, y'all, it was that much that it couldn't be a part of her life. And you know how much that got to be to keep your kids away from your daddy? And your daddy is a world hero, and you're trying to keep them away from your family that you worked so hard to build? So again, I'll end this by saying, feel however you feel about Hulk Hogan, but don't be getting on nobody for how they feel about Hulk Hogan. Okay? And to Brooke Hogan, listen, rest in peace to your father. And maybe, just maybe, you can go on and teach your children and your family and the things that you guys do to reflect the love and light and non-racism views that unfortunately your father didn't have the beauty of possessing in this lifetime. So that's it on Hulk Hogan. All right. All right. Let's just roll through a couple more things before we get out of here. Have you guys been keeping up with this whole queso situation? If you're not a YN or a YN parent, you're probably like, who? Exactly. Drill rap. Listen, I remember one time one of my sons tried to tell me that drill rap ain't nothing but the same thing gangster rap used to be back in the day. Lies you tell. Drill rap is death rap. Literally, people are dying because of things in a song and then making songs snitching on themselves. Queso on trial for murder. It's a whole thing, y'all. We have to do a whole situation, but Trap Lord Ross did a really, really good breakdown. If you don't follow Trap Lord Ross, make sure you go over there. He does a really good breakdown on the war in Jacksonville, the ATK versus, what is it? ATK versus KTA. A-Stop Killers versus Kill Them All. Yeah, these gangs got to stop. That's why I just really wish that people in general would work harder to try to make keeping the family together a thing again. Because people are seeking family and validation and accreditation in street gangs and things that are not righteous, looking for family in other places. And y'all, we gotta, me included, I don't know what we gotta do. And I know it's probably really cliche to say this, but we gotta go back to the Cosby days of wanting our family like that when we watched the Cosby Show every week when it came on TV. Speaking of the Cosby Show, rest in peace to our forever Theo, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Y'all, he drowned, and I'm sure by now you probably heard about it. If you didn't, man, and I don't know why. The other day I just got really, really choked up. Like, I think I was listening to them talk about it on the morning show. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. And for some reason, I just got real emotional, and I didn't know why. I mean, a lot of actors and actresses we grew up with passed away, but it was Y'all, the Cosby Show, it was the family we all wish we had. The family we all tried to strive to be, right? Um, y'all, be careful out in that water, man. And I mean, it makes me think back 4th of July weekend, my daughter and I and a bunch of her friends from school and their mothers, we were at a man-made beach for a 4th of July celebration. And I do not like going into lakes. Okay, I know they say man-made beach, but AKA is a lake on the other side of the lake that they done put some sand in front of to make it look like a beach, but it's still the lake. You can't see, and because it's natural, you can't control the currents, rip tides, like what happened with Malcolm Jamal Warner. Thank God his 8-year-old daughter was saved, but unfortunately, guys, he did not make it. I just hope that we're able to learn something from that situation. Rest in peace again to Malcolm Jamal Warner. But there was this interview, y'all, and I wanted y'all to hear this part. Malcolm Jamal Warner on oh God, what's her name? What's the girl? Melissa Ford. Right? I think. Melissa Ford podcast. I think, right? Yes, Hot and Bothered. Y'all can see? Okay. So there's this part. I just want to find this one part, y'all, where he talks about what he wants to be remembered as.
This program is intended for informational purposes only and does not contain medical advice. As always, please contact your physician or qualified healthcare provider with any questions regarding a medical condition.
But I just want to get a better sample.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me on another episode of Hot and Bothered with Melissa Ford. Today's guest is somebody that I have been looking forward to interviewing for a really long time.
That's your girl.
He is a singer, a songwriter, a spoken word artist. He's also a director and a producer. But he was also one of the stars of one of the most iconic TV shows in television history. I don't want
y'all to miss this because
you might remember him as Theo
it really.
But I want to introduce you
everybody grieves
to Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I'm not Thank you so much for joining me. You don't understand how blessed I feel because this episode has been a long time in the making. I'm so glad you were able to make a pit stop on your way to the airport. Malcolm Jamal Warner, this has been like, when we got the call, we got you. I was like, no way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You're a big deal, right?
Sure.
Okay, so prior
a few more minutes, right?
I
get out
all
on
of
this
this,
to go,
we were
baby.
really talking about
and I have to give it to y'all on the
just
road,
light
honey.
stuff, and I was telling Malcolm about this book that he's got to get. It's so incredible
hold on,
because
y'all.
it's one of those things where
if you can hear, cool.
It
if not, give me 1 second. I'm getting us some better
humanity,
sound.
and it's a book that I give away as gifts all the time. It's called Tuesdays with Maury. Have you ever read that book?
No.
Oh God, you got to go pick it up when you're at the airport. Please pick it up.
Okay.
Because this book, and also you're going to sob. You are going to sob.
I don't need that in my life right now.
No. It's in the best possible way. In the best possible way. And maybe you could read it like with your wife. It's one of those things. Like it's just a really dope experience that you feel like you want to share with everybody. I remember the first time that I read this book, I started writing letters to everybody.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, oh my God, you're so meaningful to me. I just want you to know I'm giving you flowers right now. Like, it's just, I'm a Scorpio. I'm very dramatic. I'm sorry. But this is literally how I feel like this book makes you feel. And it's one of those.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disgrace that man's legacy like that. But I tell you what I will do, y'all. When I go back to edit this, I will put the audio clip in there so you can hear it. And he talks about how his mom told him, his dad told him that, Mr. Cosby, with the role he gave you, he literally made you immortal. Yeah, and I think that again had me tearing up because to know he had just drowned and passed away, to know that 8-year-old baby saw her daddy, Y'all, I'm sorry. To know that he was so aware that it even made me think about my legacy. And I would encourage you to start thinking about your legacy as well. What do you want people to know? And what do you want them to remember you for? And what do you hope they remember you for? Like, what do you hope they think of when they think about you when you're no longer here? I'll make sure I put this clip up, y'all, so y'all can see that clip of it. Ooh. All right. So, like I said, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here. I done got a little emotional, but I will chop this video up so you guys can see the parts that we talked about. Let's do these hard teases. Have y'all heard about T Grizzly? You know who I'm talking about, the rapper T Grizzly? Y'all. And you don't play like this about nobody named. They trying to say this man killed his manager, aka his play aunt, aka who he was dealing with, because it was not his real aunt. And now the murderer is Young Dirt, people out of Chicago, but he's still cool with them. And now they're saying T Grizzly might get subpoenaed, but he's saying people lying. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. And I posted this a couple weeks ago, and I put it on the Facebook page, Radio-Muva page on Facebook. If you haven't yet, make sure you like there too. I said, y'all, I don't know, but I do know this. Something ain't right with this T Grizzly case. We're going to investigate. Stay tuned for that. Okay. Also, Whack 100. Okay. He has been really, really on it. If you don't know who he is a co-host on No Jumper, manager of Blueface, etc. He's the Clubhouse King, self-proclaimed king. And he is always saying on Pyru. Okay. No offense to any gang member. Well, him and Adam, who I think have a great dynamic and a great show that comes on Sunday. It's really the show that I watch the most on No Jumper. If you haven't, make sure you check them out. But him and Adam got into it. And they got into it because Adam, who I do think is extremely messy, who I think sometimes I tether between teeter between thinking, okay, Adam is just green, white, and don't know no better when it comes to things in our community and our like standards or things we believe in. And then sometimes, y'all, I just think Adam ass just being straight up messy for the content. Well, I'm gonna put the clip in here. He had one of Wet self-proclaimed ops on the show. And the person named Stan G brought up Wack's wife, girlfriend. And Wack thought it was disrespectful. What do y'all think? I'm going to play the clip. Then I'm going to come back and y'all tell me in the comments, what do y'all think? Do y'all think Adam did this on purpose and he's just being messy and he know the difference? Or do y'all think Wack is overreacting and it ain't that serious? I don't know, y'all. I don't know how they're going to move forward from here. Because I done seen Adam do a lot of sus things. But I always say this. Any man who let other men have sex with his wife for a living and have sex with other people for a living as well and don't have no problem with it and literally says they don't believe in anything like a higher power. Really? You expected anything else? I don't know. Check the clip out. Leave me your thoughts in the comment. All right, y'all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you click on the links in the bio. I need your support. Stay tuned for the video docuseries starting over 40. Radio-Muva, I love y'all. more details and more content on the way. Mwah.